S2C, coming to you live through World Trending Updates and News. So today we are going to talk about the various issues, and Zimbabwe is topping on our program today as we are going live, coming to you, broadcasting all the way from Dubai. So we hope wherever you are literally enjoying. And this is Sunday, and today we have a couple of issues that we just want to share and talk. Nothing much since it's Sunday, but there was a lot of activities, trending news, trending stories going about, and world is full of everything. World is full of everything. So we are going to start with what is happening in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a very beautiful country, and a lot of people they love Zimbabwe. A lot of people they really like the country of Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans are very peace-loving people, and it's very unfortunate that the political climate is tense at the moment as the leaders of that country they are throwing shades at each other, and the situation has reached another level to an extent that tomorrow, the 31st of March, there is something like a protest. People are going in the streets, and it's still very unclear who is leading who, because from judging from what is happening, it's more like the opposition are not active. They are not the ones calling for the what is happening right now in Zimbabwe. It's not like the opposition are the ones who are saying let's go in the streets, but the military guys, they are not confirming that they are in, but they are there. So we are not sure what tomorrow will bring, but people, some of them, they want to be in the streets, and they are not sure if the government is against it. Is everyone in the government is against it? But as far as we are concerned, as far as everything that is happening, tomorrow is going to be a very, very critical day for Zimbabweans, and the Zimbabweans must unite with one voice and push for what is right for them, because as long they are not pushing for what is right for them, the youth, from 20 years to 40 years, even up to 50 years, some of them, they are not working already. So it's a sorry state, especially for opportunities in Zimbabwe. It's like a few are getting opportunities. You go on social media, you see a lot of people flashing cash. You see a lot of people, traveling to expensive places. Like some they actually come to Dubai, some they actually go to Europe, but we want equal opportunities, especially for the young ones, because it's so sad when someone finishes or university, is just staying. We have people who are sending their children abroad, people going abroad to school, paying a lot of money, going abroad, but there is nothing that is coming, because after your child has finished his or her studies in Poland, let's say, some are sending their children to Poland, some are sending them to China. But the challenge now is when they go back to Zimbabwe, there is no work. So you find you spend 10 years, working for your kids, 20 years trying to make your kids, reach a certain level in life. But the most painful thing is, after expending a lot of money, you end up at 50, 60 years, you can't get money. So your child is still your burden. So at the end of the day, Zimbabwe needs to change. But you find very few splashing cash, buying vehicles. Look at the hospitals. Hospitals is a sorry state. People are dying in hospitals, no medication. There is a lot happening in Zimbabwe. So I think, regardless of Blessed Geza, he's a war veteran, and you can't trust war veterans 100%. That's the fact. And Zimbabweans, they are not like ready to be used again, like what happened in 2017 when they removed the founding father, that's Robert Gabriel Mugabe the late. They thought things were okay, but after removing him, things just remained. Most of them, they didn't get what they expected. So of course they want that opposition leader who promised them, if we do this, if we fight this corruption, after this you because I was asking another good friend of mine this other day, and I saying, we have seen, it's in the public domain that you see someone is getting a car for 250,000. Just recently, there is a musician who they were saying that he actually sold the car which he was given. So it's like, how much money? Maybe the car was for 25,000, 30,000, or 200. I don't know, but that amount can buy an ambulance and put it maybe in Gogwe, because we have led the women in Gogwe who want to go to maternity, but there is no ambulance there. So a lot has been happening to Zimbabwe. So Zimbabwe tomorrow is a very decisive day. I don't know how they are going to do it. The government, it seems like they have invested everything in terms of police. So according to the online news, the police have been given about $50 for just pocket money, maybe, so that to motivate them to do an extra work effort to make sure they make people. They all we just want is maybe a peaceful demonstration. But I think the government, they must let people demonstrate and air their views, and then I think it's also important for the government to listen to listen to what people are saying rather than just crush them, because if you crush people, at the end of the day, it will not help. So I totally agree with those who are saying, let people go in the street, let them air their grievances, sit down as elders, talk the problem, solve whatever capacity, that's what I think. Because the problem is, even if they say Mnangagwa must go now, is still a bit strong, that one. It is a little bit different from the way Robert Mugabe was, but Robert was a bit old, in fact, because I think by the time when he left in 2017, he was around 92, 93. So for President Mnangagwa is still fit, and he commands a lot of influence both in the military and in security services. So it's very difficult to just push him without a fight. So I think it's better for them to sit down, even with the firebrand or veteran Geza. They sit down with the veteran Chichiwenga, and they must as well make sure they talk like men. These guys, they are comrades from 1980, 75, the Mshangas. I don't think it's a good thing to, harass each other the way they are doing in public. I know we totally agree that things are in a mess, but violence, look at Mozambique, what happened to Mozambique, the Mutlandes, Venancio Mutlande, he fought, everything went when they were fighting for elections. But the outcome of elections in October last year. But at the end of the day, Daniel Chapo was inaugurated. So I think the most important thing, they mustn't, this arrest of Blessed Mutlanga, the journalist, they must release these political prisoners. That's what I think. Just make sure the environment is conducive for everyone. Try to work on the economy. Dump this 2030 agenda thing, Stop these guys like the Chivayos who splash cash all over buying vehicles. Get things right. I think there's room for that. Because the mistakes are in public domain. Even the corruption, if it is there, I think there are certain ways, ways of dealing and stop some of these things. The president must just come out and say, no, I'm not interested in 2030. He must stop these guys who are just buying vehicles willingly. They must stop insulting each other in public, and then they focus more on reconciliation, embracing everyone. I think Zimbabwe is at a better position to go forward, according to my own analysis, than fighting. Because fighting in history, I've never seen a country which was built through fighting. I've never seen that. But the problem now is there are certain people who are just saying we need President Mnangagwa, and there's a certain faction which is saying no, we need General Chiwenga, and with that now and there's another faction which is saying no, we need Nelson Chamisa, even though he's quite out there. So Zimbabwe is divided. You just need to come up together, put things right, make sure if they say Zimbabwe is open for business, it must be a genuine platform. Like if someone is coming from outside the country, needs to invest in Zimbabwe, it must be clear. Because it's not necessarily like ZANU-PF must go, or Triple C. Because even if you say, okay, fine, let's take it this way. The Chabangus thing, what happened to the Chabangus? The Chabangus, they just come, he just ran, everything was, there's no rule of law. Things were very clear. The opposition, they got what they deserve. So I think tomorrow is a very, very critical, it's a very, very critical time. We pray and hope there is no loss of life in Zimbabwe and things will end well. We have people, friends, families who are in Zimbabwe. We just wish them, but they must be room. There must be room for that. People must get in the street and exercise their right, but it must be peaceful. And then after that, the government must sit down as elders, rewrite, this thing of saying, let's extend, let's do this 20, it must stop. It's not something, it just create unnecessary, I think the signs are clear now. The signs are very clear. So I think people must sit down, dump this kind of thing, mantra, and then talk to these guys who are just buying cars willingly. This must stop. Attend to the hospitals, attend to the schools, So things must work in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a very beautiful country. If you travel around the world, you see Zimbabwe is a very beautiful country. There is order in Zimbabwe. There is good buildings in Harare. Even if you go to other African countries, you don't see infrastructures which are like, we need football stadiums in Zimbabwe. What is just missing is the way of making sure those things work. National Stadium is a very good stadium. We have a lot of money. For now, if you count the money that was invested in other things, if they come together, put that money, let's buy those bucket seats. It doesn't take even 6 months to renovate National Stadium. And then we play our home games. Look at the way the Warriors were performing in Nigeria. They're playing good football, but away from home. If we had those games, like we played Rwanda in Rwanda, where we played Nigeria in Rwanda again, we played Benin in South Africa, we played South Africa in South Africa, we played Lesotho in South Africa, and we played those games at our home ground, I tell you, Zimbabwe would be in a better position to qualify for the World Cup, because those guys are playing good football. But there's no national stadiums not working, Faro stadiums not working, and you fail to understand why. There was another issue of Harare City Council. Those guys, they were, if you talk of the mayor, there was a lot of problems a few months ago in terms of the guys at the council. They were reported they are getting around 30,000 or so. But no one was dismissed. So where is the accountability? So those are issues that needs to be worked on and then put the country in line. And I think the veteran leader, the president himself, has got the capacity to do that. We need that so that things will work. Because look, our sports minister, Kirsty Coventry, was actually voted president of IOC. That shows the capacity. But she failed to deliver when she was Minister of Sports. Temba Gorimbo was complaining this other time about minister. So you can see it is the environment which I think needs to be worked upon and then put everything in order. So tomorrow is a very, very critical day. We'll be keeping updated to you, updating you everything, what will be happening in Harare in Zimbabwe, as we are live from Dubai, and we are coming to you every day, and we'll be giving you updates and tell you. But we just pray for a peaceful demonstration back home in Zimbabwe, so that the people in Zimbabwe, they enjoy their peace. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. But they must be a situation where we say, okay, this is wrong, and the leaders must take accountability. If things are not working, they must say, okay, this is wrong. So what do? We have to do this, we have to do this. There's no point like Mr. Geza's comrade, this house was bombed, this, that. No. We don't want loss of life. It was very sad in 2018 after the elections when those ordinary citizens died in the streets through the military while firing live bullets. So we need proper and peaceful demonstration. But our issue is people must be heard. People must be heard. You know what I mean? And the elders must take responsibility. They are elders. If you see that Politburo, there's no one who is young. Those guys are big and they have the experience and the capacity. Because most of them, they are billionaires. Most of those ZANU-PF Politburo members and central committee, they run the country. But they must make sure they create opportunities for young people. A lot of people are now spending more time in drugs, dying before their age because there is nothing. Everyone who just finished is now a content creator. Everyone is now a musician. Everyone is now a news reporter. That must stop. People must find it. We need teachers, we need police officers, we need soldiers, we need nurses. A country must function. And our country is one of the best in Africa. But the governance, I think there is the problem. People must take accountability. We must stop this over expenditure. We must be, we are not saying, look at Strive Masiyiwa, his business is well accounted for. So we can't expect someone like Strive Masiyiwa to be in the same boat with Wycliffe Ochivayo. Not taking anything away from Wycliffe Ochivayo. It is his money, but the way he's spending it, it creates a vacuum. It creates challenges with the people. Unnecessary uprising, you know what I mean. So I think tomorrow people must make sure they go in the street and protest peacefully. That's what we have to say from you. Thank you very much again. We'll be back again in some few more hours as we keep pushing you, and we just said, okay, let's have a look at what is happening in Zimbabwe. And it is happening. It's all over, and I think it's bye-bye for now. Please take care of your families. Don't let your children go to school if you are not sure, but the government have assured that the day is no more. But you need a situation whereby you send your kids to school, and then you know your kids is safe, your child is safe, so just play it safe. We want everyone to be alive. Life is precious. We want to work for our families. So if you feel you're not safe going to work, it's better to stay home, so that you must be fit to work for your family. Everything that happens under the sun will pass. But if you die, your family will lose you. That's the most important thing. So make sure whatever you are in, do it in the right sense. Know that your family needs you above everything. If you die, your wife, your daughter, your son will miss you. Your parents, your brothers, your family will miss you. So make sure everything you do, you are thinking. That's what we have to say. But we need to fight for what is right. It's bye-bye for now.